Okay, let's jump right in. The era of deep, cozy cooperation between the US and China, well, it has dramatically collapsed. And this great reversal is quietly, but absolutely fundamentally reshaping the world as we know it. We're moving away from decades of total integration into a harsh new reality of intense global competition. Now, you might be thinking this is just some high-level political dispute, right? Actually, no. This shift literally impacts the microchips in your phone, the cost of the goods on your local store shelves, and the entire long-term stability of the global economy. So today in this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly how this happened and dive deep into the mechanics of China's brand new global grand strategy. Honestly, nothing captures the stark reality of this shift quite like a rather startling comment made back in 2019. Speaking to Swedish public radio amidst rising tensions, China's ambassador to Sweden delivered a totally unforgettable message about fine wine and shotguns. Yeah, shotguns. That was pretty much the definitive end of diplomatic pleasantries. It gave us an early, visceral glimpse into what's been dubbed China's wolf warrior diplomacy. Basically, it was a giant flashing neon sign to the world that a new era had arrived, one where coercion and raw power are front and center.
So we really have to ask ourselves, how did two nations, once so deeply intertwined, devolve into this state of intense mutual suspicion? I mean, for 40 years, these two powers built an unprecedented relationship. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars in bilateral trade every single year, massive student exchange programs, and a deep tech integration that basically powered the modern global economy. And now, that entire architecture is being systematically dismantled. It's been replaced by trade wars, widespread espionage fears, and urgent talk of full-scale decoupling. It didn't happen overnight, but man, the scale is absolutely monumental.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll cover the end of engagement, America's shifting view, China's security pivot, their global expansion, and finally, what our new reality looks like.
Let's start with Section 1, the end of engagement. Get a load of this data point because it's wild. The number of American students studying in China has absolutely plummeted. We're talking from a peak of 15,000 down to roughly 700. Sure, the pandemic sparked the initial drop, but the numbers just haven't bounced back. Our sources note this is driven by a highly politicized environment, strict new surveillance, and, a very real fear of arbitrary detention or exit bans. The risks are just too high now. Because of this, we're literally losing an entire generation of future experts and diplomats who actually understand how the other side operates from first-hand experience.
And we saw a parallel collapse happen in civil society too, following a draconian 2016 law that subjected foreign non-governmental organizations to intense scrutiny by public security organs. International NGOs operating in China plummeted from over 7,000 to less than 400. That's not just some bureaucratic red tape. It essentially squeezed out groups dedicated to poverty alleviation, environmental protection, you name it. It completely cut off vital people-to-people connections and isolated Chinese civil society from the rest of the world.
Moving right along to Section 2, America's shifting view.
Now, to be fair, the breakdown of this relationship takes two to tango. Over in the United States, profound domestic shifts completely rewrote the political consensus on China. For years, the American industrial heartland was hit by what economists call the China shock, basically the hollowing out of entire factory towns as manufacturing moved overseas for cheaper labor. That bred some really deep resentment. Combine those heavy job losses with the supply chain chaos of COVID-19, where everyone suddenly realized America relied on China for basic medical equipment, and the narrative flipped completely. A broad, bipartisan consensus emerged in Washington. Engagement totally failed to liberalize China, and instead, it just nurtured a formidable strategic rival.
Which brings us to Section 3, China's security pivot. So just as U.S. domestic politics turned inward and skeptical, Chinese domestic politics shifted dramatically toward absolute securitization. Under President Xi Jinping's comprehensive security outlook, the Chinese state now views almost everything through a national security lens. They're seeing potential threats everywhere. The sources detail the sweeping new counter-espionage laws that give massive power to state security ministries. In practical terms, it creates an environment where citizens are heavily incentivized to report on their neighbors or foreign colleagues for suspicious behavior. Extreme internal loyalty is basically viewed as the only defense against foreign interference.
What we have here is a textbook action-reaction cycle. Both nations are taking defensive actions that the other interprets as a totally offensive existential threat. The U.S. reacts to China's growing power by trying to constrain its development, like through export controls and strengthening military alliances. But China's leadership looks at those exact same American actions and says, see, this is an all-around campaign to contain and suppress us. It's a complete psychological mirror image, and it has securitized almost every single aspect of their relationship. Compromise? Yeah, that's incredibly difficult now.
To really grasp China's current posture, we have to look back at Deng Xiaoping's famous hide and bide strategy. For a long time, China's whole approach was keeping a low profile, avoiding confrontation, and just quietly building up its massive economic engine. Well, actually, scratch that. That era is officially over. Following the 2008 financial crisis and accelerating rapidly under Xi Jinping, Beijing sensed a historic shift. They now operate under this guiding philosophy called the Great Changes Unseen in a Century. They deeply believe Western dominance is in terminal decline and that it is finally their moment to step right into the center of the world stage.
Let's dive into Section 4, China's global expansion.
Politically, Beijing is highly active in reshaping the global order from the inside out. They've been systematically locking down top leadership spots in key UN agencies to embed Chinese initiatives directly into the international architecture. And beyond the UN, they are aggressively pitching what they call the China solution to developing nations. What is that exactly? It's basically exporting tech-enabled authoritarian governance. They package up AI facial recognition networks, internet censorship tools, and total surveillance tech, and sell it as a perfectly viable, even superior alternative to messy Western democracy.
Now, on the tech front, their strategy is driven by this fascinating concept overtaking by curve. Think of it like this. Instead of trying to play catch-up with the U.S. on legacy industries, like standard gas-powered cars, China is pouring massive state resources into dominating the next paradigm. We're talking heavy subsidies for EVs, AI, biotech, and quantum computing. It's a calculated leapfrog strategy. They figure if they can master the fourth industrial revolution, they can sprint ahead and define the future while the technological track is curving.
And that technological sprint perfectly powers their massive economic strategy. China doesn't just want to be the world's factory anymore, they literally want to write the rules of the global economy. By pushing their own executives to lead international standard-setting bodies, they ensure future tech is built exactly to Chinese specs. Plus, they're going all in on a sovereign digital currency. This isn't just a modernization thing, it is a highly strategic tool designed to eventually bypass U.S. financial sanctions, challenge the mighty U.S. dollar, and give the state unprecedented tracking power over how citizens spend their money.
But of course, all of this political and economic expansion requires hard security to back it up. China's military is no longer just a regional coastal defense force. To protect their global footprint, massive overseas investments, and vital shipping lanes, the People's Liberation Army is rapidly going global. They've set up their first overseas military base in Djibouti to protect shipping to Africa and the Middle East. They're securing dual-use ports around the world and massively expanding their Marine Corps for expeditionary tasks. It's an entire military infrastructure perfectly aligned with their booming economic needs.
And finally, Section 5, the new reality.
So here we are. We've fully entered a reality where the engagement era is definitively dead and buried. Today, both the U.S. and China view virtually every single exchange through a strict, zero-sum lens of national security. And this decoupling? It is incredibly vast. It's not just about military ships posturing in the South China Sea. It's about an American researcher who suddenly can't access historical archives in Beijing. It's the intense scrutiny of social media apps like TikTok. It's the supply chains of solar panels. Literally, everything is scrutinized, compartmentalized, and viewed as a potential vulnerability. As we wrap up this explainer, the sheer scale of this great reversal is pretty wild to think about, isn't it? The foundation for a totally new, divided world has already been laid, and these grand strategies are fully in motion. So the big question we have to ask ourselves now is this. Are we inevitably heading toward a fractured global system with competing internets, distinct tech supply chains, and totally separate financial spheres? How will global stability even hold up when the world's two largest powers no longer share a common vision for the future? Make no mistake, the consequences of this shift will dictate the course of our century. Keep questioning the headlines, keep learning the forces driving our world, and I will see you in the next explainer.